how to add a calculation to a product in ACT. All right, here's our product list. This is with Impact installed, and it's showing us we have these 5 products and all the cost, price, adjusted price, and so forth. If I double click on one, this is our data entry screen, and as you know, we could change the value of ACT, quantity of 3, and we could see that it recalculated. If we say we have an adjusted price of $89, discount is 11, and so forth. But what we want to do in this example is add something to the formula called a markup. We want to mark it up. We have a cost of it. It's X dollars. We're going to mark it up by percentage-wise, and then it's going to give us a price. So let's go in there and do that. The first thing we need is a new field. So let's go to the Tools menu, Define Tables, and let's go to the Products table. And I'm going to create a new field called Markup. Very simple. And I'm going to change Markup to a number field. I'll finish that. Updates the database schema, so we have a field called Markup. All right, now let's go back into our data entry. So I'm going to double click. Here we are in the data entry. I want to add the markup into here. Well, first thing is we want to go into the designer. So here's the designer. Allows us to modify and move fields around and such. The first thing we're going to see is over here on the existing fields is our new markup field. So I'm going to drag that onto the screen. Now, it's only going to be 2 characters, 1 or 2 characters long. So I'm going to just shrink it down a little bit. So there we have the markup field where we're going to enter in the markup percentage. What we want to do now is add the formula to it. So let's click New, and it brings up our little Add Formula wizard. So our formula is the resulting field. The field to update is the price field. And what we want to do is the price field is the cost field multiplied by the markup field. So quick little builder, I'll just say OK to that. And it shows it to us in our bigger formula builder screen. So what this is saying is this formula is going to set the value in the products table, the field called price, and it's going to set the value of that. So let's just make easy numbers up. $100 and we want a 7% markup. Well, this formula in its entirety is going to say the cost of $100 times our numeric data that we entered 7, that's going to be $700. That's not the correct formula we want to do for our markup. What we want to do is on this markup is the 7 we want to change it to a percentage. So we're going to times it by 0.01. That's going to give us a return value of 0.07 after we do the data entry. I'm just going to put this in brackets. So this gets, and this will be calculated first. So that'll return a 0.07. So now it's going to be $100 times 0.07. Well, that is now going to return $7 to us, but we don't want to return 7. This is a markup. We want the 100 plus the 7. So let's take the cost field, and I just copied it onto the clipboard. So I'm going to say the price field we're going to add is the cost plus, and again, I'm just going to put this in brackets so it's calculated first for us, plus our $7. So again, in the products table, set the price value to $100 plus 100 times 0.07 or $7. So this should return $107. Let's save this value. It's down here now with a new formula. So let's save that. And the one thing you're going to notice now is that this markup field and the cost field, the background is a very slight yellow. That lets us know that a math formula is being applied to those fields. So let's go and do this. So let's put in 7. 7, and I hit Tab. And as we can see, it recalculated the cost of $107. So that's just calculated the cost and the price. If I go and I change my value, my quantity to 10, you can see that ACT is now updating this to $1,070. That's our cost markup continuum. Now this may sound simple in $100, but you may be buying items that are $89.95. Now you can start seeing it $89.95, and I have a markup of 10. It's $98.95. or if I have a markup of 3%, it's $92.65. Okay, we can close this screen down now, so I'll just say OK. And as you can see, the values were updated down here. Now, in these columns down here, we can also display that new field. If I just go to the columns button, the new field being the markup, I have the markup. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to move it up right next to the cost and say OK. So now you can see I have the markup column in here. I'll resize it a little bit, and we can see that's a markup of 3%. So let's go apply our same 3% to our next product. And you see it, we recalculate it. We'll say save, and it is now updated. So I want to thank you for watching the video on how to add a formula into the product's data entry screen.